This Sunday, Newcastle United have their chance to win their first piece of silverware in nearly 70 years. And standing in their way is the best team in the country, set to be 20th time league winners, Liverpool. Now, on the Football Terrace earlier today, I predicted Newcastle United to win on penalties. And don't get me wrong, a lot of my predictions this season haven't been that great. But I'm going to try to break down in this video how I think Newcastle can get at Liverpool and what the weaknesses and strengths are of both teams. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're a Newcastle fan or a Liverpool fan or Spurs or Arsenal or Chelsea, whoever you support, let me know your score prediction down below. And make sure you have that subscribe button. We are steam rolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers. Whenever I record, I end up getting the bloody hiccups. We're about 300 away from 48k. Now, Liverpool, we'll start with Liverpool. They've just been knocked out of the Champions League. Newcastle played on Monday night in a 1-0 win at the London Stadium away against West Ham. Liverpool, for me, look, they're clear favourites. They are, without a doubt, clear favourites. They will be without Trent Alexander-Arnold. They will be without Joe Gomez. And they will be without Connor Bradley. So that right side, that right back side, is going to be interesting to see who goes there. Maybe Quansah. Konate, of course, he trained today. He's also a doubt. Alexander Isak has scored against this Liverpool defence this season. Van Dijk, Robertson's Robertson. If there is no Konate, I don't know what the back four of Liverpool may be, because it may be Quansah and Van Dijk. And I don't know who goes at right back. It might be Robertson or Tsimikas. That is the area of the pitch for me. Newcastle, no, Liverpool are vulnerable. Don't get me wrong, they're Liverpool. They're the best team in the league, and they should go through to the next round. They also should have gone through the next round against PSG, a game in which they were outgunned over two legs. PSG had close to 50 shots at goal against Liverpool. PSG have a very good midfield of Neves, of Vitinha, just like Newcastle have a very good midfield in Tonali, Bruno G, and Joelinton. I actually think the two best midfielders in the league are Newcastle and Liverpool. Seeing them go to head is going to be very interesting. They don't have a great away record against Liverpool. They've only won 6 times, to my knowledge, since I think the 90s, and that's at a neutral ground, or got something at Anfield. They don't have a great record there. At Anfield recently, Liverpool did beat Newcastle. But I think what a lot of people are not looking at is the mental side of it. Knowing the fact they got knocked out against PSG, will that play an impact? How will Liverpool set up? If there is no Konate and there is no, and of course there is no right back, it's going to be that Liverpool defense is going to be vulnerable. Now, let's not make excuses. Liverpool did beat Newcastle recently, and they reduced Newcastle to not even having a shot on target. Now, this is just my opinion, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where I think Newcastle United win this game is by playing Alexander Isak on the left-hand side. Use Callum Wilson to try to occupy both centre-backs. Alexander Isak in a 1v1 up against Quansah, in my opinion, he has him on toast. If it was up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, we saw Doku got the better of him. Where Liverpool were fortunate against Manchester City is they had Van Dijk and Konate there. If Konate is not there, Newcastle may actually do this. You need the game of your life from Pope, similar to what Courtois had against Liverpool. That front three, Salah is Mohamed Salah. Whoever they are going to play in the number 9 is going to be interesting. Jota looks like he's lost 2 yards of pace. Luis Diaz, for me, for whatever reason, just isn't really... He's not really clicking. And Cody Gakpo come on against PSG, but looked injured. So it's not the best front line that Liverpool have. However, the midfield of McAllister always seems to turn up in the big occasion. Szoboszlai and, Ryan Gravenberch, who for me is one of the best midfielders in the world. It's going to be so interesting to see how Newcastle set up. Will they go with a pragmatic approach like they did against Arsenal and sit back on the counter-attack? They will, of course, be without Gordon. So the front three is probably going to be Alexander Isak, probably Harvey Barnes and Murphy. I would love to see Newcastle play Isak on the left, have Callum Wilson, and then have Murphy, leaving players like Miley, leaving players like Barnes on the bench to come on and make an impact. Newcastle United, they need this trophy. If they don't get top four and they don't win this piece of silverware, the Sharks will start circling for Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak. If they do get top four and win this League Cup, I'm pretty sure you can secure both of those players for another 12 months in Newcastle's colours. Now, if you look at Newcastle's recent form, they have conceded quite a lot of goals. 3 against Nottingham Forest, 4 against Manchester City, 2 against Liverpool, 2 against Fulham, 2 against Birmingham, 2 against Brighton. They are not as solid defensively as they were maybe 3 months ago. Before that, clean sheet against Man United, clean sheet against Villa, clean sheet against Wolves, clean sheet against Arsenal, battering teams like Southampton, Bromley, Brentford, clean sheet against Ipswich. Their form has dipped a little bit, but their entire season for me rides on this fixture. If they go and win the League Cup, that will pump them into the stratosphere throughout the remainder of the season. And if they get top four and if they win the League Cup, that is a fantastic season for Eddie Howe's boys. And as it stands right now in the Premier League, they're only 2 points off of top four. If Arsenal go and beat Chelsea and Manchester City, for whatever reason, don't beat Brighton, they will be coming back with a game in hand over those teams. It absolutely, it's so important Newcastle get this trophy. Now, for Liverpool, for Arne Slot's men, it's the chance to do the double. They were unfortunately knocked out against PSG. I had them down this season to potentially go and do essentially the mini treble. For me, they have got so many players that can hurt teams, and they are still the team to beat in England. But for some reason, I just have a feeling that Newcastle do this. I might have egg on my face. I might be sitting here Sunday, 6:15, saying Liverpool just battered Newcastle. I was completely wrong. And I forgot how good this Liverpool side is. I just think for whatever reason, that PSG game may have a big effect on them. Darwin Núñez, not good enough for me. Jota looks like he's lost a bit of his pace. Luis Diaz went a couple of months without scoring a goal. If Konate is out, that's massive. Absolutely massive. Massive for Liverpool. Now, when I look at Newcastle without Botman, without Lewis Hall, without Gordon, it's David versus Goliath. And we all know who won that battle. Kieran Trippier needs to have a very, very good game in a Newcastle shirt. Not only that, we also need to have, looking at this from a neutral perspective, where the game is going to be won is going to be in that midfield. Can Tonali, Joelinton, and Bruno overpower Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister? Where obviously the game when they beat them 2-0, they just overrun their midfield. Liverpool, Szoboszlai, incredible season so far. McAllister, one of the best midfielders in the world, and of course Mohamed Salah on for a 50 GA season. Looking at Liverpool this season, they have been absolutely outstanding, but they can be beaten. They were beaten by PSG over 2 legs. They were beaten by PSV. They were beaten by Nottingham Forest. Do Newcastle have it in the tank? If they are to beat them, they have to play Isak on the left-hand side for me. Get Wilson to occupy both centre-backs and try and isolate Isak in a one-on-one against Quansah, and I think that is how they can hurt them. Let me know your thoughts down below. I am out.